Hello and good day. At this time of the day is about 12 o'clock now or thereabouts. I'm coming from you from a park just outside or in Midrand, just off, the N1 highway to Pretoria. So I would like to take another perspective, quite different from what I've been discussing over the last few episodes, but I'll get back to Senzo Meiwa very soon. But let us look at something. You know, I'm a 60-year-old plus South African. I won't tell you my real age, whoever tells his real age. But I'm in my early 60s, right? So I have grown up in South Africa. I know the realities of Kasi life and the harshness of Kasi life. But, in those days we enjoyed it and we just kept on going throughout the 70s and the 80s. I really came of age in the early 80s, when I really started making sense of what was going on around me, I saw the brutality of apartheid. I have experienced apartheid, I have seen apartheid with my own eyes. But you could have seen it. We just get born at different times in this world. I'm not trying to glorify myself for having seen apartheid when you perhaps you never experienced apartheid. In fact, you are lucky if you have never achieved apartheid. There's no glory in having experienced apartheid. But looking at South Africa today, some of us are fortunate to call ourselves advocates. We live a middle class life, but the majority of our people have seen their dreams just get shattered. From 1994, hopes were high. It is 30 years later now. Nothing has changed. In fact, for the majority of our people in Kasi, life has simply gotten worse and worse and worse. It worries me as I get older, to see fellow South Africans not being able to reap the fruits of Mandela's 27 years of struggle on Robben Island. I see us, the middle class, and those guys there right at the top, just ignoring where we come from. Nobody seems to care about the history of this country. The vast majority of our people live in poverty. The vast majority of our people live on social grants. The vast majority of our people are unemployed. Young people are unemployed. The unemployment rate in South Africa is about 32%. But the youth unemployment rate could be anything up to 60%. You see young people roam up and down the streets of South Africa without, not a clue as to what is going to happen to their future. What a sad reality. Indeed, what a sad reality for this country. Now, after 1994, a lot of us, held high hopes that this country would turn the corner. And how do we determine that this country has turned the corner? This country can only be said to have turned the corner when the lives of black people improve. The vast majority of the citizens of this country are black. I still see black equals poverty, white equals wealth in South Africa. The black people are still in Kasi. Mam Koto, Mam Chise, Mam Levazi. I remember those old ladies in Kasi. I am from Shabvi. I remember those old ladies in Kasi. They are still in Kasi. Their children have inherited that Kasi life. Their spaza shops are gone. Why have their spaza shops are gone? All of a sudden we have seen, Somalis, Ethiopians, Bangladeshis just overwhelm them. You know, we have just seen these people come from so many other countries, African countries, Asian countries, take over this part of business, rendering those people destitute. This is the reality of South African life today. And I see those of us who are fortunate with education or the little money that we have, not bothering at all about the plight of those people that we left in Kasi. You know, if you have never eaten a quarter, you are not from Kasi. You don't know what I'm talking about. If you have not bought Mam Kize's quarter, you don't know what I'm talking about. Awe yazi Kasi. Kasi hautsivi. So, here we are. We seldom go to the suburbs now. I mean, rather, we seldom go to Kasi. I go as often as I feel like, because I feel that, you know, my roots are there. My roots are there. I'm rooted there. The suburbs to me sometimes will feel like a foreign country. You know, the quietness of the suburbs. You don't even know where your next door neighbor is. The high walls all over the place. People just don't talk to each other. They don't interact. You know, life can be really lonely here. You don't even enjoy your money. You can enjoy, you know, when you're out, when you have to enjoy money. In Kasi, you know, people have to be seen to be enjoying money. Yeah, even if you have got money, you know, you have got nowhere to show off your little money. Anyway, on a serious note, South Africa or the South African economy is not benefiting the black people. Freedom means nothing for the black people of South Africa. The ANC is now in a coalition with the DA in something called a government of national unity. A few months down the line, I don't see anything happening. And this coalition was a coalition of convenience. It was not a coalition for me and you. You know, before the ANC and the DA got into this coalition, they never contacted you or me to say, if you're an ANC voter, the ANC never consulted you to say, are you willing to get into a coalition with the DA? No, they just simply acted on your behalf. Secured a coalition with the DA. Secured their positions. Secured their blue light cars. Secured all the luxury that they are so used to. Because they were simply haunted by the fact that out of power, you know, out of influence, where would they go? Can you imagine a cabinet minister going back to Kasi? Anyway, they've forgotten about their own people. And all of us, the educated, the middle class, you know, we owe the common man in Kasi an explanation. We must reach out to these people. These are our only people. You know, we might criticize them for so many things, but from Kasi, we come. And from Kasi and to Kasi, we will go. And it is in Kasi that will be buried. You know? In spite of the fact that you find yourself living in some leafy suburb. The day you leave this world, that funeral will be held in Kasi. That is where you come. That is where your roots are. So I want us to discuss some of these issues because they are very disturbing. The black people are still in Kasi, destitute. You know, this is a journey from apartheid to poverty. It was supposed to be a journey from apartheid to some kind of improvement in our lives. But it has really been a journey from apartheid to poverty. No sooner have we eliminated apartheid than we start struggling. Why struggle now that apartheid is no longer here? South Africa is the most unequal country in the world. You know, you drive around places like Midrand, You go to the West Rand, you see people, places like Deep Sloot. Driving around Deep Sloot is a scary experience. You wonder how people are able to live in those 1 meter by 1 meter structures. You see children with bloated bellies, sewage running down the streets, if you can call them streets. You know, no infrastructure at all. People using pit latrines. It is really sad. And not very far from Deep Sloot are the leafy suburbs of South Africa. In and around Deep Sloot, not very far from there. You go to Centurion is not very far. And other places in Midrand. You see luxury, filthy luxury. Filthy luxury. You see people who budget dog food. I have neighbors who budget for dog food. And that dog food costs 4,000 Rand a week. That comes to 16,000 Rand a month. On dog food, I'm not even including dog medication and so on and so forth. And then you look at people in Deep Sloot and ask yourself, what really went wrong? What really went wrong? Can a voice just come up in South Africa to reassure the black man and stand up? You know, Steve Biko, I admire Steve Biko so much. He used to say, black man, you're on your own. You are simply on your own. And we are on our own now. You know? I remember the likes of Solomon Mahlangu. Solomon Mahlangu is a man of my generation. He was hanged by the apartheid government in 1980 in the Pretoria High Court, the Palace of Justice. Every time I go through the walls of that old building, the Palace of Justice, I recall the days when Solomon Mahlangu drags these chains to the dock. A young man. At the time that he died, Solomon must have been in his early 20s. What a sad legacy that this country has become for people like Solomon Mahlangu. Thank you for watching. Please keep those subscriptions rolling in. Thank you very much. Remember, one view, one subscription. Thank you.